about today's session. If everybody can just keep their mics and cameras turned off for us, just to save any interruptions. And as always, we will record today's session, and the presentation will be available along with the recording, which will be available on the Safeguarding Partnership website after. And yes, obviously today's session will be recorded, so obviously if you've got your mics turned off, we won't be able to see you, you'll just be able to see us. And I think that is all, so I will pass over to Ali.
Lovely, thank you Kerry for the introduction. Hi everybody that's joining, always just joined through. My name is Ali Sultana and I'm from the NSPCC, where I work as a local campaigns manager, and I've been working with Kerry and other colleagues from Walsall Council to deliver a local Look Say Sing Play campaign within the borough. So what I'll do over the next 25 minutes or so is give you a bit of context as to what the Look Say Sing Play campaign is, why we've developed it, and how we hope to deliver some of these activities and resources within the Walsall area. So if I can have the next slide, please. Thank you. So about the campaign, the Look Say Sing Play campaign empowers parents to change everyday moments into brain building ones. The campaign is aimed at parents with babies under 2 and is designed to be relevant right from birth as well. So our ultimate aim with this campaign is to help parents give their child their best start in life and reduce the risk of abuse, both by building their brain and strengthening the bond between the parent and child. And what we know is that wherever there is a stronger bond between parent and child, there is less likely to be abuse. So what the campaign involves is online content for parents and professionals, and I'll give you some examples of what that is. Some printed materials for parents and for professionals like yourselves. There'll be lots of online and offline advertising to help raise awareness of the campaign, as well as local campaigns such as this one in a local area to help address specific needs. So this campaign was launched in July last year and will run to the end of this year, and what we want to do is connect with as many professionals that work with parents, that work with families, as well as parents themselves. We will be engaging and consulting with professionals who work with parents to understand how the campaign is going, whether we need to adapt these messages or develop new messages for different audiences. And we will also, and we have done actually, we worked with partners, including corporates. So we had a partnership with Lidl, and we have had stores at Lidl within Walsall and Willenhall to help promote the campaign to parents, and it gives us another opportunity to maybe access parents that we wouldn't otherwise. As alongside that, we will have press activity using key stats from our research that we've done and work with local parents. Next slide, please, Lorna. Okay, and the next one, I've covered that already. That one, yeah. Some of you may have heard of Room. It is a US app that is available on iOS or Apple. And what this is essentially is you'll find on Room is lots and lots. I think there's about 2,000 tips on Room around brain building. So it's all evidence-based and evidence-led initiative from the US, funded by the Bezos Foundation. And what on the particular app, what you'll find is lots of tips around positive connections with your how to develop positive connections with your child. How to develop their brain and become more resilient. There's examples of back and forth moments that you're all probably familiar with, and how to help the brain develop that will aid learning, health, behaviour change now and also in the future. So it's quite colourful. We do suggest that you have a download of it, have a flick through, see what you think. What I will say is that language on there is quite Americanized, and we are testing out whether we need to change some of the language and then kind of anglicize it a little bit. But as it is, I think it's a really good tool to use. It is free, so please do use this free app if you can, and encourage your parents to use it as well. So we're quite lucky that we have access to this for free. What I'm going to do now is hopefully go on to the next slide, Lorna, and if you press play, a video should shoot up and do something. Fingers crossed. No. Sit.
Can you say? Sorry.
No, it's not showing up for some reason.
Stuff. The brain develops most rapidly in the first 5 years of life. During this time, children will form the foundation for lifelong learning.
Vroom showed us that we didn't have to put more on our plate. It's about what we already do, trying to make those moments worth it.
From the moment your baby is born, the interactions you share with them can help strengthen the connections that build their brain. Vroom has worked with scientists and experts to turn this brain-building science into something simple. Something that doesn't change what you do with your child, but how you do it. We call it the 5 brain-building basics. Look, even before babies can talk, they're showing you what they're interested in. Look into their eyes or at what catches their eye and begin brain building. Follow. Powerful brain-building moments are created when you let children lead the way, and you follow by responding to their words, sounds, actions, and ideas. Chat. It may not seem like it, but the sounds and gestures young children make are their way of communicating with you. So talk out loud together, even if they can't talk yet, and keep chatting as your children grow, engaging them and learning about the world around them. Take turns. Back and forth interactions between you and your children are one of the most important ways to help their brains develop. So be sure to take turns while you're talking, playing, or exploring with your children. Stretch. Make the moment last longer by building on what your child says or asking follow-up questions that expand your child's thinking and learning. When you stretch the conversation with questions like, "What do you think about that?" or "How does that make you feel?" you're stretching the brain-building moments too. By partnering with families, brands, and community organizations, Vroom is here to help trigger brain-building interactions between you and your child, using the moments you already share together.
You've actually taught your child something when you don't think you're teaching. He's learned something new and he's still learning. When she gets something, it makes me feel like I'm the best mom in the world.
You already have what it takes to be a brain builder. After all, when you look down at them, there's a reason they're already looking up to you. Vroom. Make any moment a brain-building moment.
Thanks, Lorna. I'm just going to go back to the presentation in just a second.
Did you?
It's so much more complicated doing it on as a webinar with all the links and things. But essentially, what we hope is that we can use the knowledge from Vroom and the knowledge that they have shared with us, alongside all the views and ideas that parents across the UK have helped us with when designing this campaign. So what we did before we even launched this campaign is talk to 2,000 parents across the country about how they perceived bonding, what it meant to them, the type of activities they did, and what we discovered, or what they shared with us really, is they thought that they could probably do some activities better or differently, but they wanted tips and hints that weren't going to take up all day, and it wasn't a special thing that they have to do, something that they could kind of weave into daily life, so to speak. We know that parents are already doing lots of things, but it's about making those interactions more purposeful, and making sure that they are as a priority, really. So that's how Look, Say, Sing, Play campaign was born. Next slide. Thank you. Social interaction, and this little image here always makes me smile, really. It's a little reminder, although we have the technical world we live in, it doesn't always allow for the real life interactions, but instead it relies on the more kind of social media and virtual world. So what we're talking about here is not watching other people do stuff, it's all about the reciprocal return, really. The social interaction between the caregiver and the child is key to that healthy brain. So I think we have another video on the next slide, Lorna. Hopefully that one. Thank you.
Did it just play automatically? Sorry, Ella.
Where it says Look, Say, Sing, Play, the purple one, the one next to it, that one, that should be a video. Here we go. Oh, there's no audio. Should we try again? No, there doesn't seem to be audio, but that's okay. We can certainly share with you the links to all the videos that we're sharing today, and there's lots of other links explaining what the campaign is to parents and some of the promotional material as well. So it could be that you show some of the videos to the parents or the families that you're working with, just to give them some ideas and what these tips are around brain building and bonding. Will everybody get an email at the end, Kerry, with links? Are we allowed to do that?
Yes, so everybody will receive the PowerPoint and all the links, obviously, that are included, but we can post them into the chat so people can also view it that way as well. Excellent. Thank you, Kerry. The next slide really explains who we're going to target the campaign at. Certainly first-time parents, mums and dads at the beginning of their parental journey, where they might have less knowledge and more keen to kind of take that time out and learn and question. Also, we want to target newborns, parents of newborns and children up to 2. We know that they might have a little bit more time the first time round, and they might be more hungry for information as well. And also those who are currently pregnant, because we know that the first 1,000 days of life are certainly crucial. So parents can certainly learn about the campaign, learn about some of the tips and the science behind the campaign way before baby is born. Okay, next slide. Okay, so look. You don't have to change your routine, it's what we tell parents. Just use our tips to bring more of the look, say, sing, play into your daily life. So look could be an example of look at what your baby is focusing on and then look at how they're reacting to that. And then the next slide shows us some examples of what you can do within the pink part, and on the green part is the science behind it. So we know that some parents are really keen to understand some of the science behind the brain building tips, and we want to really make sure that they have access to that. So that is look, and then we move on to the next slide, which is say. Say what you're doing and copy the sound that your baby makes. And again, you'll have on the next slide tips on doing that and the science behind that as well. And on the next slide, you've got sing along to your favourite tunes or make up your own. And these are the examples that we kind of share with parents. And again, on the next slide, you've got, again, some examples and the science bit to that. And then lastly, you've got play simple games and see what your baby enjoys.
And this is what we share with parents again. And all of these tips that I'm referring to alongside the science information can be found on the website that I'll mention shortly. They are some kind of hard copy resources that parents can use as well, in the kind of form of flashcards. They've got a little ring around them so parents can take them anywhere they want to. Okay, so the next slide here, what we know is there's lots of good work being done all around the country. We know there's lots of good work being done in Walsall around this type or this area. So we want to kind of complement what's going on already. We know that there are existing projects and initiatives, so this campaign can complement it in lots of ways. It certainly fits around lots of other agendas, such as speech and language, school readiness as well, and the universal offer, which can also be targeted really effectively. And what we want this campaign to be is positive. We want it to be a strengths-based campaign and kind of weave it into whatever it is that you're doing already, where it can add the most value. There might be other podcasts as well on the NSPCC website that you might find helpful, and there is a lot of work being done around sharing the science, so a lot of the science part of brain building, and how this affects resilience. These webinars have been delivered previously face-to-face in a number of localities within Walsall, and we hope to continue deliver these webinars. So if you have a whole staff team that you're working with, or a whole group who might find this webinar helpful or this campaign helpful, I'm happy to deliver to them on a different day. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so where can you find out more about this campaign? You can certainly find out more about this campaign online on the NSPCC website. It will give you lots of information, including all the brain building tips as well. If you haven't already, you might have seen this campaign on Facebook and Instagram. You can have a look at the tips and hints on Vroom as well, but also on the website, what parents can do is sign up for weekly brain building tips. So to sign up to the newsletter every week, they'll get new tips on how to build their child's brain and how to build that kind of really positive and strong interaction. So there's lots of resources that you can use, that parents can use as well. So as I mentioned, we have the flashcards, we have booklets as well that you can share with parents, as well as the weekly brain building tips as well. I'm just trying to think. The other thing that I should mention here is there is free session plans as well. So if you are running any online or offline sessions with parents, there is free session plans and activity plans that you can deliver to parents, so the parents and children can get together and take part in some of these activities that we can suggest to them. They're all supposed to be fun, very low cost as well, so they don't have to go and buy something new. It's all about what have you already got in your house, what can you use differently, and making those interactions fun and purposeful. If you would like further information and more kind of resources on the campaign, you can certainly download them from the NSPCC website. There is a really good PDF as well that I really like around sharing the science. It uses lots of different metaphors that we can work with when we're working with parents to help them understand some of the context of the campaign. That is not on the website, but if you would like that, please let me know and I can share that as a PDF. We do have other information on the telephone as well, so if you've got any concerns about a child or you just like to talk to somebody, you can certainly call the helpline, and the website is there, but also you can certainly contact me as well. My email address is on the presentation, and I think Kerry or Lorna's popped it into the chat as well, so by all means you can contact me for more information. If you would like a separate webinar for your team, then I'm happy to either, once we're doing face-to-face workshops, happy to come in, or alternatively deliver this webinar or any other information that your team or your colleagues would like. So that kind of brings us to the end of the presentation really, and it leaves us a few minutes for any questions or any comments about the campaign. So just really want to thank you all for attending today, and give the opportunity to ask any questions.
Thanks, Ali. So we'll just hold on a couple of minutes, see if anyone's got any questions. Just in addition to that, I'd just like to add, and I will pop it out on the email as well, that comes out to everybody after the session. There is also some information regarding the campaign and what we're doing in Warsaw on some of our own websites. So the Safeguarding Partnership website have got a brief description and some information around the campaign on there, and also on the Early Help website, we've all got on there the overview of the campaign, what it's about, and also during COVID, we created some session plans that parents can actually download and do at home in their own time if they'd like to. So, for instance, like Ali was saying, objects around the home. So, for instance, looking in the mirror and the interaction, it'll give you. It's got lists of other home things that you could use as alternatives, and how you could plan a session at home, and some videos. So I will also send that out after. For anybody who wants to forward that on to any parents, they can just go on and access any sessions there. But yeah, as Ali said, alternatively, we can, if you sign up to the Look Say Sing Play, we'll send you weekly tips and ideas on what to do.
And we do have posters as well. I forgot to mention those, didn't I, Kerry? We've got the big posters that once you are having face-to-face sessions, you can display those posters within your settings as well. And since we've launched the campaign in July, it feels like ages ago now, but it's not that long ago, July last year, we had a really positive response from professionals like yourselves and also parents as well. We had over 100 parents attend the launch event at the Art Gallery just over a year ago, which was brilliant. And the feedback from them was really positive. They went away feeling like they didn't have to go buy anything new or do anything, really special. It was about weaving these little tips into daily life and making them meaningful. And you should have seen some of the children that were having the times of their lives, weren't they, really, with the packets of flour or sand and feathers and things like that. So it is meant to be really easy and really simple to use. And we hope that, as many professionals in Warsaw are able to use the campaign to help complement the good work that they're doing already.
Yeah. And just to add to that, as Ali mentioned, the flashcards earlier that we do give out to parents, usually the School Ready team will offer and deliver stay and play sessions. This is where they will incorporate the Look, Say, Sing session into their plan. And that's where we give out the flashcards, but I have got some available at one of our buildings. So if anybody would like any of those to give to their families, they're more than welcome to email us following this session on the Warsaw Right for Children, and I can get some out to you. These are Warsawized as well. We've had them remade with Warsaw contact details and where they can go and speak to for further information around any of the sessions or Look, Say, Sing, Play locally. So I will I'll send again all that out with the email afterwards. Going back to questions, Ali, I don't think we've had any.
Okay, are you okay? Let me off easy in that sense. The other materials as well we are developing, aren't we, Kerry? Is stickers.
Yes.
For health visitors and other professionals as well who are meeting pregnant women, parents who have children under 2, who can then use those stickers on something that parent is going to be using quite often to refer them back to some of the tips and where they can find that resource. We're really keen to reach out to local communities, parents who might not have English as a first language as well. And we are in the process of developing resources for those parents as well. So if there is any kind of, links that you have to community organisations, to parents groups, we're really keen to hear from you.
Yeah. And pre-COVID, we were actually just in the process of getting these leaflets translated. So we have taken a look at the top 5 languages within Warsaw, and that will be the priority at the moment. So those will be available. And as soon as they are, again, it will come from the Warsaw Right for Children email, and we'll send it out to anybody who's been part of this session or the wider community as well as. So yeah, so on that note, Ali, I think that will be all. And unfortunately, this is our last Meet and Connect session planned at the moment. We have had over 27 sessions so far. And as always, they will be available on the Safeguarding Partnership website. So any of the sessions that you weren't able to make or you were, you can go back and see them on there. So yeah, that is all. Thank you so much, Ali. Thanks
Thank you.
for your time. And as Ali said, if you would like further information or you would like Ali to attend maybe one of your unit meetings, team meetings to a wider team, I know Ali's done a lot of briefings in Walsall already with school settings, early year settings and stuff like that, and individual team meetings. So you can either drop us an email or Ali and we'll get that sorted for you.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so thank you very much and thank you everybody for joining us. Bye.
Thanks.